What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Man coming at you with a quick video. Yes, this is going to be a rarity, but I am doing a video on the Houston Rockets. Gotta represent number 13, the Beard, James Harden, and the Rockets, along with Russell Westbrook. Now, I want to start off by saying I saw something that kind of surprised me. Now, I haven't been watching too much basketball lately. My fault, I guess you could say. But I I like what I saw with the Rockets. Now, at this point, they are 6-3. Just came off a blowout win against the Chicago Bulls after they got blown out by the Miami Heat. And they have the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow night at 6. So, with that being said, though, I am going to say this here. I did see one game. I forgot what game that was, but I did see one game watching Russell Westbrook and James Harden. When I'm watching them play, I like what I saw with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Now, as y'all might know, I did say I did not like the trading for Russell Westbrook. Hey, I didn't like getting Chris Paul, but it ended up being a couple of good seasons with Chris Paul. So, with all that being said, though, looks pretty good so far with the Rockets. With Russell Westbrook, reuniting with James Harden. It is what it is. Now, with that being said as well, too, uh, they have been playing good, and I kind of want to get into something else that I saw uh, about the Rockets, and that was I saw a story, not a story, I guess you could say, article. I don't know how you want to phrase that, about 5 key players defensively that the Rockets let go. And number 5 on that list was Dwight Howard. Now, there has been a lot of speculations why Dwight Howard was let go, because he was, being a little too friendly with some of the other players, if that's the case, it is what it is. And I did finally see that video of him slapping somebody on the nuts on the sideline bench, on the Houston Rockets bench, I should say. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, why in the hell would he do that? But whatever. So he did it. It is what it is. Then they compiled a list that said Patrick Beverly, Trevor Ariza, James Ennis. They said a few other people. But my personal number 1 defensive player that they did not mention on that list was Akeem Olajuwon. Now, I know a lot of people might say, what are you talking about? Well, they didn't really let him go, I guess you could say. He wanted to sign with another team, just see what it's like to play in another city. And I know it was at the end of his career because he only played 1 year with Toronto Raptors, and then he retired. He couldn't do it anymore. He retired. Smart man. If you can't, you can't do it. But to me, that was the number 1 because we all know he's number 1 in shot blocking in history, NBA history. The closest person to that is like good 600 blocks or something like that away. I know I had that stat. I got to look that up. But I got to find that stat. Now, also too, I think another person defensively that they let go, number 2, in my personal opinion, is Robert Horry. Yep, we all know he went to the Lakers, went to the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken, the Phoenix Suns as well too. So that's another person defensively that they let go. And my all-time favorite NBA player of all time, my third person I think they let go, Brandon Maxwell. Now, I know there was controversy with him during the Rockets' second playoff run with him and Clyde Drexler. Well, it wasn't no beef with him, Clyde Drexler. It was him and the team because Clyde Drexler took his spot. But nonetheless, they let him walk out the door. Well, you can have your opinion on that, but he was one of the Rockets' top defenders, at the time. So I think those are my three. Number two, I know my three top defenders that they let go, and I know I'm going back to the Rockets' old days, but can't help but to think about it. Now, an honorable mention, and you might not say he's not too much of a defender, but my personal opinion, he is, and that was Tracy McGrady. Now I know he dealt with a lot of injuries, and he did not want to, come off the bench or be used very seldomly. And I was to the point where I was like, you know what? I agree because the man had suffered a lot of injuries, but the man was still, when he was on the court, he still was dominating. So it was just one of those things like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't want to stay with the team, so they traded him. He went to, I forgot where he went to, but I know he eventually ended up in San Antonio where he called it quits. But with all that being said, though, I think those are my top guys that I think the Rockets should not have let go. That were good defenders. Like I said, I know Tracy McGrady might be a little questionable on that list. I know, but when I saw that list, I was like, I understand it, but I don't understand it because some of those people that let go, I think, were valid reasons. Like I said, with Dwight Howard, being a little too friendly with his teammates. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into all that speculation, but you know what I'm saying when all the rumors came out about him. So it is what it is. And then another one with a good defender that didn't let go, but he wanted to go somewhere else, and that was Akeem Olajuwon. They tried to keep him. I know they tried to keep him. But he wanted to go to another city, just see what it's like. Because as you know, when he came from Africa, he played at the University of Houston, played with the Houston Rockets his whole career until his final season. Even though he did sign a 2-year contract with Toronto Raptors, but he only played for 1 year. He couldn't do it anymore because of injuries, took a toll on his body. It's time for him to call it quits. It is what it is. It's life. So, with all that being said, though, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Houston Rockets since I have not made a Rockets video so far this season. So, with all that, man, as always, gotta say, Chuck the Deuce, I'm out. This your boy Man Up. You was in the man cave. Now I gotta kick you out the man cave. Holla.